what I wanted to bring up was the progression of our youth today compared to when we were kids. I noticed when I was a kid that nobody talked about college, nobody talked about grants or anything like that. It was anything that had to do with school was taboo. All you ever wanted to be was a gangster. You know, you wanted to be, and not just gang members, but like, you know, the whites at the school what had their plans. They were going to go to work with their fathers, and everybody had like a plan. They were going to follow footsteps on certain things, but never school was part of it. It was rare when you had somebody actually talk about school. And
Mm-hmm.
nowadays, I see more Raza and more professional uh, jobs. And I've been fortunate enough to be there with my daughter, and my kids talk about college. You know, they'll tell you what funds to get, where to get them, how to do it. They know everything about it, and it's like the in thing now. And I think that shows progression. I know a lot of people say the times are watered down, but I think it's getting better. I think it's getting better for our youth. You know, as far as in general, not just gang members, but just in general, our heritage and our people are getting starting to get in the mainstream, being doctors, attorneys, and stuff like that. I think it's something to be proud of.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, it's. I think that's a great thing. What you just said, it's progression. And if tomorrow, like if I had to say so, and I would say, you know what, there's no more gang members as of tomorrow, and they all become, all the youngsters become, I mean, educated, and they all choose a great profession out there in life. Man, I'd go for that all day. You know what I mean? Because yeah, because like it's true what you said. Like education wasn't pushed on me when I was younger. You know what I mean? It was all about get through school and then get a job. You know what I mean? And go work at a warehouse or whatever. That that's what it was. You know what I mean? But like when I had my kids, I said I don't want that for them. I need them to be better than that.
Yeah,
So
of
I
course.
pushed all of my kids to get their education.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and they succeeded, Joe. You did a great job, man. Tell us about your kids, bro. Like what
Yeah.
they're doing education wise, because you came out of the hood, bro. You got homies that ain't here, that are dead. You didn't grow up like I knew. You didn't grow up all Mr. Education. What? How did you do it, bro? And what are your kids up to?
Man, I wanted them to be better than me. And that wasn't like a big plateau to cover, but I wanted them to get their education. I know that education was the way to go. And my son, my oldest, is he has his master's degree. He has his bachelor's degree in science and biology. And then he got his master's degree, just completed that. My second daughter, she's working on her bachelor's degree right now. My third daughter, she has her bachelor's degree and she's working on her master's right now. And she has her bachelor's degree in math. And then my fourth daughter, my youngest, she just graduated high school and just started college right now.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. But
4 for 4.
you know what? It takes more energy to care about your kid than it does to say, they're gonna be who they are. If they don't want it, then that's on them. But yeah, it's not, man, because when they're young, they don't know what they want. They want to go party, they want to go do this and that. But as a parent, you have to put that energy and say, no, you're not going nowhere. You're gonna stay home. You're gonna do your homework. You're gonna have this in. But I would always go online, what they had available to us for school, and I would check if they were tardy, if their assignments were in, if they had low scores, and I would highlight. And the kids hated it, man, because we had a printer, and I would highlight and say, "Here, fix this," and I want this, and why were you late here? And man, I was always on them. I was like a correctional officer, but it took all that energy to get them where they're at today.
That's cool, man. You were part of it. And then, for me, what was cool about where I grew up in the Vadio, this is what was cool. People had grown up with the care for the neighborhood, even though they weren't gangsters and stuff. We were over there running amok, shooting each other, going to prison, going to jail in our barrio. But what happened, there was one person, and her name was Maria Santana, Fullerton College. She was not a gang member, but she grew up in the hood. She took the time, she cared about us. She made her way up. She got into financial aid. She got in there, and she started opening doors for us. Then my homeboy Crook, he had gotten shot in the head. He was given a scholarship to Berkeley, and then he was the catalyst that said, "Hey, you guys could do it," and told a lot of our homeboys, talk to Maria. She could get you in college. She could do this. She could do that. And Maria would put up with us. And sometimes we'd get in college, and there was times we had 10, 15 guys going to Fullerton College from the hood. We'd all be right there going to college. And some of us would, we'd get busted. We'd drop out or whatever, get the financial aid money and run. But Maria was always there. So what I'm saying to everybody out there, and especially to Joe, what's cool, Joe, is that the same way Maria, she cared, she went in, she got her education, she made a path for others to follow. I know your kids are going to be the same, brother. I know they're going to be the same because I know you're raising them, to care for our people at heart, and that's what's cool. They're going to pave ways for people like us. So all these people out there going to college, man, that grew up in the hoods, I think they're going to open a lot of doors for us, ex gangsters, ex vatos, whatever,
Yeah, yeah. You know,
Well, I was fortunate. My my son didn't. He's already 31. He didn't go to college, but he got a job and he's doing his thing, and he's not a troublemaker. He's not a drunk, not an alcoholic, not an addict, nothing. He's getting by, which I know he can do a lot better. But it was kind of hard to push him on things because I was gone for so many years of his life. So, he had that animosity towards me for that reason. My daughter, on the other hand, I've been there from day one. And like you, Joe, my wife used to go on the internet on her for everything. And she really never brought too much to me unless it really had to be dealt with. I'm not sure why. It just, my wife was like that. She was more like what you did with her. And I kind of caught the good part of my daughter. But unless I really had to rip into her about something. But yeah, my daughter goes to school. She goes to college. She's never in trouble. She's gone to Florida 4 times. Last year, she just got back. Um, I think her kids are progressing. You know what I mean? I see it. They're doing things that I've never done. I've never been to Florida. She's been there 4 times. Her next trip's Colorado. She's got things planned out, and she doesn't want to work for anybody. She wants to have her own business. So she's going to be taking up business and doing stuff like that. So, it's just progression.
Yeah.
yeah, that's good. You know what I mean? Like, education is great. You know what I mean? It's great, but education is not for everybody. But I want to give like credit to those guys that are out there and girls that, yeah, maybe you didn't get education in college and stuff, but you're out there and you're busting your back and you got a good job, but you're taking care of business, taking care of your family. You go to work from 9 to 5 and you come home and you take care of your kids and stuff like that. You got to give credit to those people too, because they're out there. Like I said, education isn't for everybody, but the ones that are getting it, props to them. And the ones that are out there that didn't get it, but they're out there doing good, man, props for them too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree, bro. Even I give props to those people working at Walmart, McDonald's, wherever. It's not their ideal job, but they're doing it, bro, to provide for their family, and you got to honor that, man. It's a beautiful thing. It's a
And
beautiful
kind
thing.
of on topic is I think our Raza fathers have been around more now than before. I think they take in, I see a lot more single fathers that are taking up the slack and doing what they're supposed to do with the kids. And
Yeah,
I think that's commendable.
yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It is.
yeah. And I see a lot. At least I remember for generations, you would see somebody be, a grandfather, a son, uh, uh, another son, all the way down becoming gangsters. I don't see that as much. I know gangs are still flourishing, but I don't see that as much that people are getting caught in that generational gang thing. I don't know. Do you guys see that, or is it just me, my area?
No, yeah, I think it's true. I think it's true because, like with me, I was a third generation from my barrio, and I decided that I was gonna cut it at me. I didn't want a fourth generation to go through that. You know what I mean? So that's why like I moved out of the neighborhood and stayed away from that area for 30 years. You know what I mean? But I had to make that conscious decision that, you know what I mean? I didn't want my daughter and son to be my homeboy and homegirl. You know, like my mom and dad were for me and my grandparents were for me. You know what I mean? Um, and I think that's what a lot of people are doing. You know what I mean? And or they're simply moving away from the areas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think I don't know. My area is I'm starting to figure out there's a lot of kids that are related to my homeboys and my home sisters, my homegirls. Um, Unfortunately, a lot of the kids are getting involved in it, and it's my neighborhood is I don't know about your guys' area, but like my area now has come to the point that uh it's not just a neighborhood anymore, not just a barrio. It's more of it's almost like a community now because Burbank's primarily a white city, and now a lot of Armenians, and that certain sections just all Raza. So it's kind of like a little community, and you hear people, oh yeah, I grew up on Elmwood, I grew up there, I grew up with Elmwood. They're not really talking about the gang; they're talking about just the neighborhood, the area.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now the kids, I think a lot of them stayed in the city because the Burbank schools are really good, so their kids are getting a good education. But at the same time, a lot of them are getting involved in the gang life, and I'm kind of seeing it. I'm barely figuring out. Like somebody will talk to me, and I'm like, "Hey, what's up, home? Oh, you know my mom. Oh, you know my dad. And you're out here, like you know what I mean? It's a little takes me back a little bit, but you know, can only do so much with these kids.
Yeah. Yeah. I know what you're saying. It's kind of like Joe's area where he grew up, kind of the same way.